First contact and cultural clash. The vast expanse of space stretched before Commander Aria Chen as she stood on the bridge of the UAS Horizon, humanity's most advanced starship. Her dark eyes, sharp with intelligence and determination, scanned the holographic displays surrounding her. The crew worked diligently at their stations, a testament to years of rigorous training and preparation for this moment. Humanity had finally achieved faster-than-light travel, and the Horizon was on its maiden voyage beyond the solar system. Their mission to explore, to learn, and to represent Earth in its first steps into the galactic community. "Commander," called out Lieutenant Reyes from the sensor station, his voice tinged with excitement and apprehension. "We're picking up an anomaly at the edge of the Proxima Centauri system." Aria strode over, her movements graceful despite the low gravity. "What kind of anomaly, Lieutenant?" It's massive, sir. And it's moving. I've never seen anything like it." As if on cue, the main view screen flickered to life, revealing a sight that took Aria's breath away. A colossal ship, easily 10 times the size of the Horizon, glided into view. Its design was organic, almost jellyfish-like, with translucent sections that pulsed with an inner light. "Yellow alert," Aria ordered, her voice calm but firm. "Open all frequencies for communication." The bridge erupted into controlled chaos as the crew carried out her orders. Aria's mind raced. This was it. First contact. Everything they'd trained for, everything humanity had dreamed of for centuries. "Sir," the communications officer reported, "we're receiving a transmission. It's like nothing we've ever encountered. Our systems are struggling to decode it." Aria nodded. "Route it through the xenolinguistic A. Let's see if we can make sense of it." Minutes passed, feeling like hours. The alien ship maintained its distance, neither advancing nor retreating. Finally, the AI chimed. "Translation matrix established. Audio and visual incoming." The view screen changed, revealing a being unlike anything Aria had ever seen. It was vaguely humanoid, with iridescent skin that seemed to shift colors like the surface of a soap bubble. Its eyes were large and multifaceted, reminiscent of an insect's. "Greetings, travelers," the being spoke, its voice a melodious hum translated by the ship's computers. "We are the Zephyrians. Your presence here is unexpected." Aria stepped forward, her posture straight and confident. "I am Commander Aria Chen of the United Earth Ship Horizon. We come in peace, seeking knowledge and friendship." The Zephyrian's colors rippled, a gesture Aria couldn't interpret. "Peace, a concept we know well. Yet your ship bristles with weapons. Curious, is it not?" Aria felt a bead of sweat form on her brow. This was the delicate dance of diplomacy she'd trained for. "Our weapons are defensive, a precaution in unknown territory. We mean no harm." "Intentions and actions often diverge," the Zephyrian responded. "We have observed your kind from afar. So young, so volatile. Your history is steeped in conflict." The accusation stung, but Aria knew she couldn't deny it. Humanity's past was indeed checkered with war and strife, but that wasn't the whole story. "We have fought, yes," Aria admitted, "but we have also created art that touches the soul, music that transcends language, and scientific discoveries that have transformed our world. We are more than our conflicts." The Zephyrian was silent for a moment, its colors swirling in complex patterns. "Intriguing. You speak of beauty and discovery, yet you venture into the cosmos armed for war." Aria took a deep breath. This was the moment that could define humanity's place in the galaxy. "We arm ourselves because the universe is unknown to us. But our weapons are not our essence. Allow us to show you who we truly are." There was a long pause, tension thick on the Horizon's bridge. Then, the Zephyrian spoke again. "Very well, Commander Aria Chen. We will observe. You may approach our vessel." As Aria gave the order to move closer, she couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning of a much larger challenge. The Zephyrians were clearly advanced, possibly by millennia. How could humanity prove its worth to such beings? Over the next few days, cultural exchange began in earnest. The Horizon's crew marveled at Zephyrian technology, so advanced it seemed like magic. In turn, the Zephyrians found themselves puzzled and intrigued by human creativity and adaptability. Arya worked tirelessly, coordinating with her crew and the Zephyrian representatives. She noticed one Zephyrian in particular, a science officer named Kale, who seemed more open to human ideas than the others. During one exchange, Kale approached Arya. "Commander, I must confess, your species continues to perplex us. You lack our technological sophistication, yet you've achieved feats we thought impossible for a race so young." Arya smiled. "We have a saying on Earth, necessity is a mother of invention. Our limitations often drive us to find creative solutions." Kale's colors shifted to a hue Arya was beginning to associate with curiosity. Fascinating. This creativity, it is not a concept we fully grasp. As Arya began to explain, alarms blared across both ships. A Zephyrian officer rushed to Kale, its colors a chaotic swirl of what Arya assumed was distress. "What's happening?" Arya demanded. Kale turned to her, its voice grave. "A threat we hoped you would never have to face. The Void Swarm approaches." Arya's mind raced. The Void Swarm? What is that? "A scourge that consumes all in its path," Kale explained hurriedly. "We fought them for millennia, barely keeping them at bay. And now they're here." As if to punctuate Kale's words, the space around them seemed to darken. On the view screen, Arya watched in horror as what looked like a living shadow engulfed nearby asteroids, leaving nothing in its wake. In that moment, Arya knew that everything had changed. The cultural misunderstandings, the diplomatic tensions, all of it paled in comparison to this new threat. Humanity's first steps into the galactic community had led them straight into an age-old war. "Kale," Arya said, her voice firm with resolve, "tell us everything you know about the Void Swarm. If we're going to face this threat, we'll need to work together." As Kale began to share information, Arya couldn't help but think that this crisis might be the forge in which a true alliance between humans and Zephyrians could be formed. In the face of annihilation, their differences seemed trivial. The Void Swarm approached, a relentless tide of destruction. But on the bridge of the horizon, a seed of hope took root. Humanity had faced extinction before and survived. With new allies at their side, they would face this threat too. Arya squared her shoulders, ready to lead her crew into the unknown. The greatest test of humanity's worth had begun. The galactic threat emerges. The holo display aboard the UES Horizon flickered with an ominous red glow, casting eerie shadows across Commander Arya Chen's determined face. The Void Swarm, a cosmic horror beyond human comprehension, loomed at the edges of the Proxima Centauri system, its tendrils of darkness probing and consuming everything in their path. Quantum shields at maximum capacity, Lieutenant Reyes reported, his fingers dancing across the haptic interface. "But Commander, we've never faced anything like this. Our tech is. It's like bringing a knife to a gunfight." Arya's eyes narrowed, her mind racing. "Then we changed the game, Lieutenant. Humanity didn't come this far to be wiped out in our first interstellar battle." On the neighboring Zephyrian ship, Science Officer Kale observed the humans with a mixture of fascination and concern. The iridescent patterns rippling across his skin betrayed a complexity of emotion that humans were only beginning to decipher. "Your species continues to confound us, Commander Chen," Kale's translated voice hummed through the comm system. "In the face of certain doom, you show excitement." A wry smile tugged at Arya's lips. "Not excitement, Kale. Determination. Humanity has a long history of overcoming impossible odds. It's time we showed the galaxy what we're made of." As if in response to her declaration, the Void Swarm surged forward, a tsunami of cosmic darkness threatening to engulf both ships. "All hands, brace for impact." Arya's voice rang out clear and strong. But the impact never came. Instead, A blinding flash of light erupted from the horizon, enveloping both ships in a cocoon of shimmering energy. Kel's multifaceted eyes widened in disbelief. Impossible. You've created a temporal stasis field. Arya allowed herself a moment of pride. A little trick we've been working on. Theoretical until now, but desperate times call for desperate measures. The Zephyrian's colors swirled in what Arya was beginning to recognize as awe. Your scientists postulated this technology, but to implement it so quickly, under such pressure, remarkable. That's humanity for you, Arya replied, her voice tinged with both humor and steel. We work best with our backs against the wall. Now, let's use this breathing room to form a real plan of attack. As the two ships hung suspended in the bubble of distorted time, human and Zephyrian minds raced to find a solution. The void swarm, momentarily baffled by its prey's disappearance, writhed in frustration just beyond the stasis field's boundary. Our weapons are useless against it, Kale explained, projecting a detailed hologram of the swarm's structure. The void entities exist partially out of phase with our reality. We've held them at bay for eons, but never truly defeated them. Arya studied the hologram intently, her scientific mind processing the information at lightning speed. Out of phase, that gives me an idea. Lieutenant Reyes, remember that glitch in our quantum drive during the shakedown cruise? Reyes' eyes lit up with understanding. The phase variance oscillation. But Commander, that nearly tore the ship apart. Exactly, Arya nodded, a plan forming. What if we could weaponize that effect? Create a resonance cascade that forces the swarm fully into our phase of reality. Kale's colors shifted rapidly, a sign of intense calculation. The energy requirements would be astronomical. And the risk. Sometimes Kale, Arya interrupted, her voice soft but firm. The greatest risk is not taking one at all. Are you with us? There was a moment of tense silence as Kel communicated with the Zephyrian elders. Finally, he turned back to Arya, his form pulsing with a new hue, one that Arya instinctively understood as resolve. We are with you, Commander Chen. Let us show the Void Swarm the power of our combined ingenuity. What followed was a frenzy of activity as human and Zephyrian scientists and engineers worked in perfect synchronicity. The temporal stasis field wouldn't hold forever, and every second counted. Arya moved between stations, coordinating efforts, offering encouragement, and making split-second decisions that could mean the difference between survival and annihilation. Through it all, she felt Kel's presence at her side, a constant reminder of the miraculous alliance they'd forged in the face of cosmic terror. As the final preparations were made, Arya addressed the combined crews of both ships. Today, we face an enemy that has terrorized our galaxy for millennia. But today is different. Today, humanity and Zephyrians stand as one. Our differences, our misunderstandings, they mean nothing in the face of this threat. Together, we will drive back the darkness. Together, we will show the Void Swarm that the light of consciousness, of life itself, cannot be extinguished. A chorus of cheers, human voices and Zephyrian harmonic hums filled the comm channels. Temporal stasis field disengaging in 3, 2, 1. Reyes counted down. The shimmering bubble of distorted time collapsed, and for a heartbeat, the universe seemed to hold its breath. Then, all hell broke loose. The Void Swarm, enraged by its prey's reappearance, surged forward with renewed vigor. But this time, humanity and the Zephyrians were ready. Now, Arya commanded. Twin beams of coruscating energy erupted from the ships, their phase variants calibrated to perfection. Where they struck the Void Swarm, reality itself seemed to warp and twist. The effect was immediate and catastrophic for the swarm. Cosmic horrors that had existed beyond the veil of normal space were suddenly dragged fully into our dimension. Their otherworldly forms, unable to maintain cohesion, began to dissolve. It's working, Reyes shouted, his voice thick with disbelief and hope. Arya allowed herself a grim smile. Press the advantage. Don't let up. For hours that felt like eternity, the battle raged. The combined fleet danced through space, their movements a deadly ballet choreographed by Arya and Kel's seamless cooperation. Slowly, inexorably, the tide began to turn. The void swarm, for the first time in eons, knew fear. It tried to retreat, to slip back into the safety of its phase-shifted existence, but the relentless assault gave it no quarter. As the last tendrils of cosmic darkness evaporated into stardust, an eerie silence fell over the battlefield. Arya exhaled slowly, scarcely able to believe what they'd accomplished. We did it," Kel's voice came through the comm, a mixture of exhaustion and awe. "Commander Chen, your plan, it was brilliant. The void swarm is gone." Arya leaned heavily against her command console, the weight of their victory settling on her shoulders. "We did it together, Kel. Human determination and Zephyrian wisdom. Turns out that's a pretty unstoppable combination." As the reality of their triumph sank in, cheers and celebrations erupted across both ships. Humans and Zephyrians alike reveled in their shared victory, the barriers between their species seeming to dissolve in the aftermath of battle. But even as she joined in the celebration, Arya couldn't shake the feeling that this was just the beginning. They'd won a crucial battle, yes, but the war for humanity's place in the galaxy, for understanding between species, for a future among the stars, that was just getting started. And as her eyes met Kel's across the bustling bridge, a silent understanding passed between them. Whatever challenges lay ahead, they would face them together, human and Zephyrian, united by a bond forged in the crucible of cosmic conflict. The stars seemed to shine a little brighter as the horizon and its Zephyrian counterpart set a course for home, carrying with them a message of hope for the entire galaxy. Trials of trust and technology. The UES horizon glided through the iridescent nebula of the Andromeda Rift, its hull shimmering with the aftereffects of the phase-shift battle against the void swarm. Commander Arya Chen stood at the viewport, her reflection overlaying the cosmic tapestry beyond. The victory had been sweet, but the cost had been high. "Commander," Lieutenant Raya's voice crackled through the comm, "the Zephyrian envoy is ready for the debrief." Arya squared her shoulders. "Understood. I'm on my way." As she strode through the corridors of the horizon, crew members saluted, their eyes a mixture of awe and uncertainty. The alliance with the Zephyrians had saved them all, but integrating two vastly different species and technologies was proving to be a challenge of galactic proportions. The conference room doors hissed open, revealing a scene that would have been unimaginable just weeks ago. Humans and Zephyrians sat side by side, their forms a stark contrast, one solid and familiar, the other fluid and alien. At the head of the table stood Kel, his iridescent form pulsing with what Arya had come to recognize as anticipation. "Commander Chen," Kel's harmonic voice filled the room, "we have made a breakthrough." Arya raised an eyebrow. "I'm all ears, Kel, or should I say, all sensory appendages." A ripple of amusement passed through the Zephyrians. Progress, Arya noted. They were starting to understand human humor. Kel gestured, and a holographic display sprang to life in the center of the table. "We've successfully merged Zephyrian quantum entanglement technology with your phase-shift weaponry. The result is unprecedented." The hologram showed a sleek device, pulsing with energy that seemed to defy the laws of physics. Arya leaned in, her scientific curiosity piqued. "What am I looking at exactly?" "We call it the Nexus Core," Kel explained, his colors shifting to a deep, passionate purple. "It has the potential to revolutionize space travel, communication, even reality itself." As Kel delved into the technical specifics, Arya's mind raced with the possibilities. Faster-than-light travel without the need for massive engines, instantaneous communication across galaxies, the ability to phase-shift entire planets out of harm's way. "This is incredible," Arya breathed, her eyes wide with wonder. "With this technology, we could change the face of the galaxy, Kale finished, his multifaceted eyes meeting hers. But, Commander, such power comes with great responsibility and risk. Arya nodded solemnly. The void swarm. Indeed, Kale's form rippled with concern. Our victory may have been temporary. If they return, they'll be looking for this technology. We must be prepared. The room fell silent as the weight of the situation settled over them. Humanity had barely taken its first steps into the galactic community, and already they held the key to unimaginable power and unimaginable danger. We need to test it, Arya declared, breaking the silence. A controlled experiment, away from populated systems. Kale's colors swirled in agreement. There's an abandoned Cypherian outpost in the Cygnus Void. It would be the perfect location. As the meeting adjourned and preparations began, Arya couldn't shake a growing sense of unease. They were venturing into uncharted territory, not just scientifically, but ethically. How would this new power change them? How would it change the delicate balance of the galaxy? Weeks later, the horizon and its Cypherian counterpart hung in the inky blackness of the Cygnus Void. The abandoned outpost loomed before them, a skeletal structure against the backdrop of distant stars. All systems a go, Reyes reported from his station. Nexus core is online and stable. Arya took a deep breath. Initiate the test sequence. As the Nexus core powered up, reality itself seemed to bend around the ships. The stars blurred, space-time folding like origami in the hands of a cosmic god. And then everything went wrong. Alarms blared across both ships. The Nexus core's energy signature spiked, far beyond predicted levels. Shut it down. Arya shouted, but it was too late. A blinding flash erupted from the outpost, engulfing both ships in a maelstrom of quantum energy. Arya felt herself being torn apart at the subatomic level. Her consciousness stretched across multiple realities. And then darkness. When Arya opened her eyes, she found herself elsewhere. The horizon was gone. The Zephyrian ship was gone. She stood on an alien world, its sky a kaleidoscope of impossible colors. Commander Chen, Kel's voice came from behind her. She turned to see the Zephyrian scientist, his form somehow both familiar and utterly alien in this new environment. Kel. Arya breathed, relief washing over her. What happened? Where are we? Kel's colors shifted to a hue Arya had never seen before, uncertainty perhaps. I believe, he said slowly, that we've triggered a quantum entanglement cascade. We're everywhere and nowhere. Every possible reality, all at once. As the implications sank in, Arya felt a mix of terror and exhilaration. They had unlocked the multiverse itself. Our crews, Arya said, her leader's instincts kicking in. We need to find them, bring everyone back together. Kale nodded, his form solidifying with resolve. Agreed, but Commander, we may find versions of ourselves, of our crews, that are different. The choices we never made, the paths we never took, they're all real here. Arya squared her shoulders, facing the impossible horizon of this new reality. Then we adapt, we explore, we find a way home. That's what humans do, Kale. We face the unknown, and we conquer it. As they set off across the alien landscape, Arya couldn't help but smile. Humanity's greatest adventure was just beginning. They had unlocked the secrets of the multiverse, and in doing so, had opened the door to endless possibilities. The trials ahead would test them in ways they couldn't imagine, but with human ingenuity and Zephyrian wisdom, Arya knew they would prevail. After all, they had the entire multiverse to explore, and a bond that transcended the boundaries of space, time, and reality itself. The cosmic stage was set for an adventure unlike any other, a journey that would redefine the very nature of existence and cement humanity's place among the stars. Quantum entanglement of souls. The multiverse shimmered around Commander Arya Chen and Science Officer Kale, a kaleidoscope of realities bleeding into one another. They had traversed countless alternate worlds, each one a testament to the infinite possibilities spawned by every decision ever made. Kale, Arya called out, her voice echoing strangely in this realm of quantum flux. I'm picking up a familiar energy signature. It could be the horizon. The Zephyrian's form rippled with excitement, his colors shifting to a vibrant azure. Excellent work, Commander. Your human intuition continues to astound me. As they approached the source of the energy, the very fabric of reality seemed to twist and contort. Suddenly, they found themselves on a bridge, but not the one they knew. This horizon was darker, its technology a bizarre fusion of human ingenuity and some otherworldly influence. Intruders on the bridge, a voice barked, a voice Arya recognized as her own. They turned to face a version of Arya Chen unlike any they'd encountered before. This Arya's eyes glowed with an eerie purple light, her uniform adorned with symbols of some eldritch power. Fascinating, Kale murmured. It appears we've encountered a timeline where your species embraced the void swarm rather than fought it. The alternate Arya sneered. Embraced? We conquered it, harnessed its power, and now we rule the galaxy with an iron fist. Our Arya stood her ground, her voice firm. That's not who we are. Humanity is better than this. Humanity was weak, her doppelganger spat. We made it strong. As tension mounted on the bridge, Cal's form began to pulse with an intense light. Commander, he said urgently, I believe I can use my connection to the quantum realm to show this version of yourself the consequences of her actions across multiple timelines. Arya nodded, never taking her eyes off her alternate self. Do it. What followed was a mind-bending display of quantum mechanics and empathic connection. Cal's form expanded, enveloping both areas in a cocoon of shifting realities. They witnessed countless versions of Earth, some thriving in harmony with alien races, others reduced to ash by the very power this Arya thought she controlled. As the visions faded, the alternate Arya fell to her knees, the purple glow in her eyes flickering and dying. What have we done? She whispered. Our Arya knelt beside her counterpart, placing a comforting hand on her shoulder. It's not too late. Every decision creates a new reality. Choose a better path. As they helped the alternate crew begin their journey of redemption, Arya and Kale prepared to continue their search. But before they could activate their quantum shift, alarms blared across the ship. Multiple quantum signatures detected. Reyes shouted from his station. It's the void swarm, but not like we've ever seen before. The viewscreen crackled to life, revealing a sight that chilled Arya to her core. The void swarm had evolved, adapting to the multiverse. It now existed as a quantum horror, simultaneously present in every reality. This complicates things, Kale said, his usual understatement tinged with genuine fear. Arya's mind raced. They had unlocked the secrets of the multiverse, but in doing so, they had exposed all realities to a threat beyond imagination. The fate of not just one universe, but all possible universes, now hung in the balance. Kel, Arya said, a plan forming in her mind. What if we use the quantum entanglement of our minds to create a multiverse-wide neural network? We could coordinate with every version of ourselves, of humanity, of every alien race across all realities. Kel's form pulsed with excitement. A pan-dimensional alliance, it's brilliant, Commander. And perhaps our only hope. As they set their plan in motion, reaching out across the quantum foam to countless versions of themselves, Arya felt a sense of awe. This was humanity's greatest test, a battle for the fate of all possible existences. The void swarm descended upon them, a writhing mass of quantum horror. But this time, they were ready. Across countless realities, versions of the Horizon and Zephyrian ships moved in perfect synchronicity. Weapons fire rippled across dimensions, each shot calculated to strike the swarm at every point in its quantum existence. Arya stood at the center of it all, her mind linked with Kale's, serving as the nexus point for this impossible alliance. She felt the determination of 1 trillion souls flow through her, every version of humanity and their alien allies united in purpose. As the battle raged across the multiverse, Arya realized that this was more than just a fight for survival. It was a defining moment for all sentient life. In the face of cosmic horror, they had chosen to stand together, to fight not just for their own reality, but for every possible future. The Void Swarm, for all its terrifying power, couldn't match the combined will of countless united civilizations. Slowly, inexorably, it began to falter. "Push harder," Arya commanded, her voice resonating across realities. "We have them on the ropes." With a final, reality-shaking surge, the Allied forces struck at the heart of the swarm. There was a moment of absolute stillness, as if the multiverse itself held its breath. Then, in a cascading wave of light that rippled across all dimensions, the Void Swarm shattered. Its quantum essence, once a threat to all existence, dispersed into harmless energy. As the pan-dimensional neural network dissolved, Arya found herself back on her own horizon, in her own reality. The crew around her looked dazed but triumphant. Kel's form shimmered into existence beside her. "We did it, Commander," he said, his voice filled with awe. "We saved everything." Arya nodded, feeling the weight of their accomplishment. "We did. But more than that, Kel. We proved that no matter the reality, no matter the differences between us, we're stronger together. That's the true power of humanity, of all sentient life. Our ability to unite in the face of adversity." As the horizon set a course for home, Arya gazed out at the stars. They had unlocked the secrets of the multiverse, faced down a threat of unimaginable scale, and emerged victorious. But she knew this was just the beginning. The multiverse was vast, filled with wonders and dangers beyond imagination, and humanity, standing shoulder to shoulder with her alien allies, was ready to face it all. The greatest adventure in history, or rather in all possible histories, was just beginning. And Arya Chen couldn't wait to see what the infinite realities had in store. The Quantum Nexus Paradox. The UAS horizon emerged from the swirling vortex of quantum foam, its hull crackling with residual multiversal energy. Commander Arya Chen stood at the helm, her eyes reflecting the impossible colors of interdimensional space. Beside her, Kel's form shimmered, still adjusting to their native reality. "Status report," Arya commanded, her voice steady despite the cosmic ordeal they'd just endured. Lieutenant Reyes' fingers danced across his haptic interface. "All systems operational, Commander. But there's something you need to see." The main view screen flickered to life, revealing a sight that made even the battle-hardened crew gasp. Earth hung in the void before them, but not as they remembered it. The continents had shifted, megastructures of impossible design orbited the planet, and the moon was gone, replaced by a Dyson swarm that glittered like a diamond halo. "What in the name of Einstein's ghost?" Arya breathed. Kel's colors swirled in a pattern Arya had come to recognize as deep contemplation. "It appears our actions in the multiverse have had unforeseen consequences." As if on cue, a transmission crackled through the ship's speakers. "Attention, unknown vessel. This is Earth Prime Control. You have entered restricted space. Identify yourself immediately." Arya exchanged a glance with Kale before responding. "This is Commander Arya Chen of the UAS Horizon. We're home." There was a long pause before the reply came. Impossible. The horizon was lost with all hands during the quantum schism of 2157. Prepare to be boarded. Before Arya could protest, a shimmering portal opened on the bridge. Through it stepped a figure that made her jaw drop. It was herself, but older, adorned with cybernetic enhancements and bearing the insignia of a Grand Admiral. "Well," the other Arya said, a wry smile on her face, "this is certainly a temporal tangle." What followed was a mind-bending debriefing. The Horizon's battle against the multiversal void swarm had indeed saved reality, all realities, but it had also caused a cascading series of quantum events. In this timeline, humanity had leveraged the aftermath of the battle to catapult itself to the forefront of galactic civilization. "We've achieved things beyond our wildest dreams," Admiral Chen explained, gesturing to a holographic display of human achievements. Dyson swarms, wormhole networks, even the ability to manipulate the fundamental constants of physics. Aria's head spun with the implications. But at what cost? This isn't the home we left behind. The Admiral's cybernetic eyes softened. No, it isn't. But it's a home where humanity has realized its full potential, where we've taken our place among the cosmic elders. As the crew of the Horizon grappled with this new reality, a new crisis emerged. The quantum manipulations that had propelled humanity to greatness had also attracted the attention of something ancient and terrible: the quantum leviathans, beings that existed in the spaces between realities. "They're drawn to the energy of our quantum tech like moths to a flame," Admiral Chen explained grimly. "And they're hungry." Aria felt the familiar surge of adrenaline. This was what she was made for: facing the unknown, protecting humanity. "What's the plan?" The Admiral smiled, a glint of recognition in her eye. "We fight, but not with weapons, with minds." What unfolded was a plan so audacious it bordered on madness. Using the combined quantum computing power of Earth's Dyson swarm, they would create a simulated universe, a honeypot for the quantum leviathans. "Once they're inside," Kale explained, his form pulsing with excitement, "we collapse the simulation, trapping them in a closed time-like curve." The preparation was intense. Aria found herself working alongside her older self, marveling at the woman she might become. The differences in their experiences were stark, but their core, that indomitable human spirit, remained the same. As the trap was sprung, reality itself seemed to hold its breath. The quantum leviathans, massive beyond comprehension, took the bait. They dove into the simulated universe, their hunger overriding any caution. "Now," both Arias shouted in unison. With a surge of energy that made the fabric of spacetime ripple, the simulation collapsed. The Leviathans roared in fury and confusion as they found themselves trapped in an endlessly looping pocket of false reality. In the aftermath, as the crew of the Horizon came to terms with their new place in this advanced Earth, Aria stood at the viewport, gazing at the transformed planet below. "It's not the home we left," Kale said, joining her. "But perhaps it's the home humanity was always meant to have." Aria nodded, a mix of emotions swirling within her. "We've come so far, seen so much. But there's still so much more out there, isn't there?" As if in answer, alert chimed. A new anomaly had been detected at the edge of known space, a possible doorway to realms beyond even their advanced understanding. Aria felt a smile tugging at her lips. The universe, no, the multiverse, was vast and full of wonders, and humanity, in all its infinite variations, would be there to explore it all. "Well, Kale," she said, straightening her uniform, "shall we see what's out there?" The Zephyrian's form shimmered with anticipation. "Always, Commander, always." As the Horizon set course for the unknown, Aria Chen felt a surge of pride and excitement. This was humanity's destiny, to push boundaries, to seek out new frontiers, to dance on the edge of possibility. The greatest adventure in cosmic history wasn't ending, it was just beginning.